We gather here today with heavy hearts to honor the young lives lost in Nepal during the recent political protest. At least 22 youths, sons and daughters of our nation left their home with hope and courage but never returned. And the number continued to grow. Their only demand was honesty, justice, and good governance. For this, they paid the ultimate price. As members of New Hampshire Nepali Community here in New Hampshire, our grief is deep. Though oceans separate us, our pain and solidarity have no distance. These were no just numbers. They were dreams, they were voices of generations that believed in better Nepal. Their sacrifice must not be forgotten. We condemn the violence and suppression of peaceful protesters. Democracy should protect its people, not silence them. These fallen youth remind us with the urgent need for accountability, compassion, and change. Tonight, as we light our candles, I now recognize community leader, activist, and our very good friend, Honorable State Representative Suraj Budathoki, to say a few words.
They rose against corruption, broken promises, and the silencing of their voices. Instead of being heard, they were met with bullets, and their online voices cut off when 26 social media platforms were shut down. To the grieving families, I offer my deepest condolences. No parent should ever have to bury their child for daring to dream of a better country. And to all of us here tonight, these candles must not burn out in vain. We must amplify Nepal's young voices, demand accountability, and call for restored freedoms. Thank you. And next, I would like to welcome my friend, Representative Eric Gallagher.
Is there a microphone?
We don't have it.
Oh, okay. Hi, thank you all for having me, for Suraj, my colleague in the House, for inviting me to speak. I hadn't originally planned to speak, so I don't have anything written here. This is all off the cuff, but I just want to thank you all for coming out tonight for this vigil, for a show of support for the community. The Nepali community is very important to me here in New Hampshire, to a functioning democratic society. There's a quote commonly misattributed to Voltaire that was actually invented by one of his biographers, that said, I may disagree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. And I think that's applicable here. If you look at the underlying social media legislation involved, I think that was actually pretty reasonable, but still, students should be able to protest it and say they disagree with it without having fear of being shot by police or any other military or anything like that. From one protester to another community of protesters, you have my solidarity and my prayers that Nepal will be able to come to a peaceful resolution, and that the country will once again be able to be stable allies with us here in the U.S. Because Nepal is a very important country, and you have my prayers and support. So thank you all again, and I'll now hand it back to Suraj.
Very much. I now recognize the president of New Hampshire Nepali Community, Mr. Lakpa Sherpa.
Thank you all for being here tonight, for joining us here tonight. Your presence here shows the strength of our community and our shared compassion to the people of Nepal. The young lives we remember tonight were full of hope and courage. They spoke for justice. They spoke for justice. They dreamed for a better nation, and their sacrifice must never be forgotten. Though we live far from our native Nepal, our hearts remain close. When we gather like this, we send a clear message. We stand with the youth of Nepal. We stand for peace, and we stand for change. Let us keep their memory alive, not only our prayers, but in our actions, by supporting justice and good governance whenever we can. Tonight, together, let us believe and work towards the day when Nepal will have peace and stability. Thank you, and may peace prevail in Nepal and in our world. Thank you so much for being here tonight once again. यो 24-48 घण्टाभित्रमा जुन तरिकाले नेपालमा एउटा जेनजी अहिलेको नयाँ यङ जेनेरेसनले राम्रो व्यवस्था, राम्रो देश, आफ्नो देश, अपर्च्युनिटी, सुविधा, सस्तो, राम्रो जीवनको लागि जुन तरिकाले पिसफुल तरिकाले देशमा प्रोटेस्ट गरिरहेका थिए, नेपाल सरकारले जुन तरिकाले उहाँहरूमाथि बर्बरतापूर्वक दमन गरे, यो साह्रै नै अपूर्णीय क्षतिका साथ हामी आज यहाँ जम्मा भएका छौँ। त्यो पूर्ण जीवन क्षतिको लागि हामी यसरी तिनीहरूको जीवनलाई सम्झेर हामी उनीहरूलाई एक किसिम हामी युथ जुन यङ मेन एन्ड वुमनको जुन तरिकाले लाइफ कहिल्यै नफर्किने गरी हामी बीचबाट छुटेर गए, तिनीहरूलाई सम्झेर हामी यहाँ जम्मा भएका छौँ यो क्यान्डल लाइट भिजिलको लागि। त्यसको लागि तपाईँहरू जम्मा हुनुभयो, धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। अहिले वास्तवमै भन्ने हो भने ती यङ केटाकेटीहरूलाई सम्झिँदा, भर्खरका जीवन हुर्किँदै गरेका केटाकेटीहरूलाई सम्झिँदा म त्यति बोल्न पनि सकिरहेको छुइनँ, म धेरै बोल्न सक्दिनँ। फेरि अवस्था आयो बोल्नुला। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much. Once again, on behalf of Hampshire Nepali Community, we thank you for being here tonight. I think we're going to stay here for another 10-15 minutes and we wrap up everything, and that's all for tonight. Thank you very much.